For decades, advocates have been trying to bring about youth justice reform, but we kept bumping into a variety of roadblocks and hurdles. A lot of it really steeped in continuing fears or perceiving that the public was still afraid of youth not being punished enough.
Measure 11 was passed in 1994 in Oregon by Oregon voters. It's a mandatory minimum sentencing in the state of Oregon, where youth starting at the age of 15 can be charged as adults. The harm that Measure 11 caused, and back in 94, and that it continues to cause, is that it takes away the opportunity to focus on rehabilitation and addressing traumas that youth have experienced. You're losing an opportunity to help that person heal.
Almost everyone in Oregon's prisons, besides a very small number, are getting out one day. And so our goal in looking forward at reform can't be about destroying them, ruining them, punishing them. It has to be rehabilitate, provide services, counseling, education, work skills, so they can get out one day and re-enter into their communities.
As we approached the 2019 legislative session, we saw opportunities for change. The strength of our members allowed us to have resources that we could deploy in sophisticated strategies that showed legislators very clearly that a vast majority of Oregonians' values have changed since Measure 11 was passed. And those values said, give youth a second chance.
Community members, advocates, youth and adults who had been youth offenders reached out to me and to other legislators on the Youth Justice Reform Bill. And when people came to tell us the real life impacts about those policies on their lives and the lives of their loved ones, we had no choice but to work to pass this reform. The floor session for the Juvenile Justice Reform Bill was one of the most dramatic evenings I've ever experienced in the Capitol. The gallery was full. One of the most powerful parts of working on the Youth Justice Reform Bill was working with Senator Jackie Winters. And Senator Winters was fond of saying a society will be judged by the way it treats its children. And I think the work we did this session really helps redeem Oregon. And I have to say, when that gavel came down and we knew it passed, the tears started to flow and the emotions were high, and it's something that I will never forget.
There have been very few moments in my life where I've cheered and just been elated. To see so many people come together at all levels of the system throughout the state, and we all embraced, it was amazing. It was amazing to see that coalition of support.
The ACLU was vital in every step of passing the Juvenile Justice Reform Act, from policy development to research and reports, testimony, lobbying efforts, individual stories. It is so important and can never be overstated the impact that ACLU members have in the building, and it makes a big difference.
Youth were gonna have hope, communities were gonna have hope, and I don't have to look across from a youth ever again in the juvenile detention center with that look in their eyes of, my life's over, I don't have a chance anymore. That bill symbolized that moment where I could look and say, you're gonna get a second chance. You're gonna be all right.